Israel R for $5 says, hello, HCast and WDW Pro. Do you think KK will retire before or after the release of The Acolyte? Ooh.
KK's contract ends next year in October. At that point,
she's fired. She's gone.
She'll never be fired.
Because she sold her house.
She sold her house. She got fired in her sleep. They threw all of her stuff in the lawn. Don't you know this? You should know this, Pro.
She is part of the super secret society of the Sword of Damocles. Yes. Okay, that's what's going on here.
It's KK and on.
Wait a minute. They threw her stuff in the lawn?
In the lawn of the Magic Kingdom.
In the lawn.
In the Magic Kingdom.
In the
lawn. Her contract does run out next year in October. That'll be interesting to see. Can Disney possibly bring her back, given just how terrible it has been? She'll be 71 or 72 at that point.
Who cares at this point?
She's eternal. She's never going away.
Well, no, you were right, Pro, at the end there when you were saying, I don't know if they can really fix Star Wars. That's what I was saying earlier.
Yes, it's true.
I don't think you can. And you're right. Not without retconning it somehow. And they're not going to do that. And I think it's a dead franchise. It's not like Marvel or some of these other things where you can literally just reboot.
Well,
right?
Script and I talked about this earlier today. The problem that Star Wars has is they have written themselves into failure, and there's no way to get around it. It is the sin of all sins when it comes to narrative. The ending of the Skywalker saga, if you want to call it that, has Palpatine actually win because it's his progeny that takes the name of Skywalker and goes on forever. And so whatever you do, you can't, unless you fix that, you can't go forward, and your fans don't care, because at the heart of everything, this even gets down to reality, right? So in your daily life, you want to make progress. And when you're not making progress towards a goal, that's what brings about stress in your life. It's the same thing in narrative. If your story isn't progressing forward, then your audience, they drop out because they don't want to participate in it anymore. The same as if they were doing a job that didn't give them any kind of means by which to move up. Well, Star Wars has put a brick wall at the end of their story. And I don't suspect that the Rey movie is going to tear down the bricks.
No.
There's only one way. One way. Like Doctor Strange. There's the one way, and I went through my brain in all the universes of the world, galaxy, and end of time and beginning. The only way Star Wars can make a comeback without doing what Pro and I said, with literally them coming out and saying, we're sorry, we're gonna retcon all this stuff, is if all of a sudden they realize what they've done wrong, get a new creative team around, and you find out there is a Skywalker out there. I'm not kidding.
I don't think that'll fix it.
I'm not kidding. I'm not saying it's going to fix everything, but it's the only way out of this mess. And you find out that Luke had a son with Mara Jade that we did not know about all this time, bringing in Mara Jade and the new Skywalker, because that's the only way you have the lineage move on, is to have a boy or man with his name, right? You have to have the Skywalker name.
Yeah, it almost be like Return of the King from Lord of the Rings,
No, guys, you're missing the Lucasfilm angle. There is an option here. Rey movie cuts in, right? She fights, she battles, all that. End of movie. She finds Uncle Owen's grave. She pulls her pants down and she takes a giant crap all over it. I'm talking about green splatter, diarrhea crap all over it.
And that's why I said it doesn't work. That's about the only way. Yeah. And you're only getting back about half the audience if you're lucky at the end of the day.
Yeah. I think the only way that we get back to form is if Disney is in a hole so bad with it that they're forced to sell it. And it's under somebody else, and they take it in a completely new direction and do what Tom was just saying. Them doing that under Disney is still not going to bring a lot of people back.
No, it's in the fans' hands now. And you know why I say that?
What if Rey uses R2 as a urinal? That might really pull the fans.
Well, I'm sure there's a porn audience for that, but no, the only way I see this coming out and we having a resurgence of any kind of Star Wars anything is through the fans, and that's when AI gets to the point where you can actually get good enough to make something photorealistic, and somebody redoes the Star Wars sequel trilogy. Basically, you'll have somebody redo it. It'll get famous because it's, better than anything we got out of Disney. And that's going to finally be when they maybe will admit that they screwed up. But at that point, it's still too little too late. It's not like they're going to adopt the fan versions as the official versions or anything.
I don't think George Lucas even got this much backlash in the prequels.
How do you?
No, he didn't.
No, he didn't, because the proof is in The Force Awakens, Nick.
Yeah.
But okay. So you're talking about the obvious things that need to be fixed, right? The whole Rey issue, the Rey's the problem thing, right? The Palpatine thing.
Well, and I was looking at it as, bringing back the Skywalker lineage. Yeah, go ahead. Sorry, Cece. Yeah.
No, it's fine, Tom. But like I said, you can look at it but there are bigger issues. I know that doesn't seem like there are. Like, for example, how do you force yourself to death? Okay, that's problem number one. This is
culture. It's called forced constipation. Get it right.
Elvis died that way on the turlet.
And now we have like this magical power called Force Skype or something that you can do. Like, just
Is that when you get stabbed with a lightsaber and you survive?
No.
Losing track now.
That's only women survive that. Pro.
I mean, there's a whole list of other problems that come along with the last couple of films that Disney allowed to get put together that I don't think you can repair.
No, I'd agree with that.
Yeah.
No, I that's what I'm saying. Like, even at that point, you're still only going to get at best half the audience back. It's a dead franchise.
Yeah.
They have literally killed it. There's no bringing it back. There's nothing they can do.
Sweep it back round to Israel's super chat. Do I think KK will retire before or after the release of Acolyte? She is eternal.